Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Correct. Welcome in on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. I'm the host, Braylon Edwards, and that's my guy over there, the co-host, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Matt Shep. Man, Shep, how you feeling over
Good,
there?
buddy. How are you today?
I'm doing all right, man.
I'm just green on. You look sharp.
Appreciate that, man. A little mint situation, if you will. Still trying to look for that 60-degree day that we were promised today. Haven't seen it yet. Can't find it yet. Yeah, I wore the wrong color. Just glad I wore a jacket because it's a little bit more chilly out there. What do you say, Cam? A little cold out there today? Colder than
it's cold. Yeah, it ain't warm.
Yeah, they promised us 57, and it's currently 39.
It's an ugly day out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's gray. It's foggy. It's rainy.
A little London fog.
Yeah, a little London fog.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Rich Luderman's a friend of mine. He does a great job on Channel 2 as a meteorologist. You can probably get away with being wrong as a meteorologist more often than just about any other position in broadcasting. Am I wrong? Stand in front of the green screen. You're getting this big flow of Arctic air coming through right here, and it's going to bring a lot of moisture with it, just so you know. And so we expect some wet stuff to come a little bit later on. But the good news is it'll be 57 tomorrow. I'll change my projection later on tonight at 11. Stay tuned.
57 down in the metropolitan area in Detroit. Now, if you go to Upper Peninsula right there, you see Sault Ste. Marie. Sault Ste. Marie is going to be a little bit colder up there, 23 degrees or so. Yeah, no, I actually had a chance to be a
69 in South Carolina. Oops, sorry.
Shout out to South Carolina. What's the word, man? How's everybody feeling? Kool-Aid, welcome me on my right hand. What's the word? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. I'm ready for the Pistons to get back to work. Just one more day, and you know we're gonna do a watch party right here at the studio. So hopefully everybody's tapped in. So
Shout
I'm
out,
fired up,
man.
Michigan to Michigan State.
Go
Blue! They're kicking butt.
Yeah.
They got UCLA a little frazzled.
We
got more than just a team frazzle. I'll tell you that.
we got to talk about that coach, man. He had a double situation, if you will. But Shep, I'm gonna start here. Let's start here. I love the commercials, and when I was a kid, I remember wondering, why are all these old people in commercials? Like, I was looking like, why are these older celebrities, Hollywood celebrities in the commercials when you're 95? I'm like, why am I looking at Angela Lansbury and, insurance commercials, if you will? Well, now I'm a little older, man. That's at that time.
I know it's a good one. That
was a good pull, right?
Funny. Yeah.
I saw a commercial today that I actually enjoy, and I see why the older individuals, the older entertainers are in them. It was a car shield commercial, windshield, something shield, if you will. And Ric Flair was in a commercial.
Yeah, I saw some.
You saw the same commercial? Now Rick's been in a lot of commercials. He's got the woo. He keeps it going. He's been in a lot of bad ones. But I thought this one was good. Shout out. I appreciate you, Ken. I thought this one was good. They had him working that windshield, and he just kept doing woo. Like the whole
does
time
it make
around.
you?
And I was like, good to see my boy Ric Flair out there getting a paycheck, man.
Does anybody?
And
if that's a cure commercial, it's better than the ones where you got the guy sitting down the athletes across from him.
No.
Because that might be the worst.
Yeah.
Is there any product that because it's endorsed by a certain individual, entertainer, athlete, whatever, that makes you go, yes, I've got to buy that?
Not me, but I would imagine folks, like when you get to talking about like erectile dysfunction, things of that nature. I'm being ED, hymns, things of that nature. If you see an individual that is around your age when you're struggling, let's say 53, 54, 50, 45, and you see one of your entertainers.
Are you talking about like Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Like, I can imagine there's a lot of individuals that see those commercials like, man, see, I knew I wasn't the only one. Well, if Frank, the hammer and home run guy from the Chicago White Sox, if he's on it, Doug Flutie, man, I'm telling you, people will buy into that. I think that.
Okay.
So those type of, pills or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Performance enhancements.
You don't have to worry about that for a while.
I was going to say, it don't got to be that, but what is it that you would sell?
Well, that I would believe in or that I would sell.
Or either.
It's like twofold.
Yeah. I'm wondering which one would you sell? As you know.
Definitely none of that biopsy and all that other BS. They have the weirdest names. I watched Cat Williams stand up this past weekend, and it was actually pretty good. But he was talking about all those names, those pills and stuff.
I think what is just as funny is at the end. This could cause this. It's
worse than what you have.
Are you kidding me?
Like,
Who
I
in
just
their
had-
right mind takes that when you could be impotent? That's great. Let me roll the dice there.
Like, Shep, I legitimately came here. I legitimately came here because I had eczema and my skin was a little irritated. Now I'm blind, I'm missing the eye, and I'm dying. I just had eczema.
It's like all your hair may fall out.
Now I'm gone.
Like, what?
Now the fro is gone.
Okay, let's
Crazy.
turn the tables. Is there anything somebody has endorsed that you won't die because of that? Because my son sees those Cure commercials, and it may be Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it may be Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs and Spencer Torkelson and Tarek Skubal and those guys. He would never get that because of the commercials.
Oh, I tell you this, I saw John Legend during COVID, and he had it's the randomest commercial ever, by the way. I think every commercial during COVID and the years after was random. But John Legend's sitting at the piano, and he's acting like he's about to serenade everybody. He was like, hello, come on and go. Yes, I'm John Legend, and flips his sleeve down and starts talking about the shot for Pfizer. Yeah. I was like,
he's still talking about it.
Rightfully so, because they're paying him whatever they're paying him to lie to us. But I just don't understand. Like, that was a cringeworthy commercial.
I said that
might
be number one right now.
That in itself, I'll pass.
That's a great one, man. I remember seeing that for the first time. And go, you jackwagon.
It was weird. It was just weird all the way around.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he flipped it. First of all, how you have a flip down shirt?
You don't.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was a little wild, man. I'm passing.
That's really good. That's really good. And well, speaking of TV, do you guys have a specific series that you would recommend to a friend to binge watch? Because I've got some friends who have they're not as sports enthusiasts as we are. Okay. So we're watching games every night.
Yeah.
Okay. Even 2 nights ago, when none of our local teams are playing, we're watching Iowa State play Houston. And
it was a good game.
It was a good game.
Iowa State
and watched Houston blow a 10-point lead at Ames, right? So, I've talked to some friends, and they're like, maybe, the Pistons are back and the Red Wings are back, and I'll watch Michigan State once in a while. They're not huge. They want a binge-worthy series.
Okay, so
what would you recommend? Just give me one. I just want one from each of you.
I got to do my due diligence. So non-sports, typically. Okay, age range 55 to 65.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters.
It does. It does for where I'm at. I'm very professional with my recommendations. Right. I'm not going to give you something that I don't think you're watching.
I would never take it that way. I figure you would give me something that is worthy, no matter what the age group. But I appreciate you taking that into account.
I'm not going to tell your mom to go watch like Power.
Agreed.
Exactly. 100%. All right. I'd say Landman. Landman is it's an easy recommendation, if you will. It travels. It does all the things. It checks out.
I like it.
Has your action. Has your comedy.
And it's good. Yep.
It's really good. It's well good. Deal with a lot of things. Has the action. Has some drama. Has some comedy. Has great actors and actresses in it.
Has some very attractive people in it. That's true.
There you go. Yeah. So Landman is
Landman's a good one. It's a safe one. I would think. I don't think you'd be disappointed with that. Kool-Aid, what would be one that you would binge watch?
I like psychological thrillers are a little bit out there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man, I loved video games. One of those was Fallout. And right now, that's the one I'm on, Fallout Prime. And it's pretty dope.
Is it? Okay.
It's dope.
How many seasons is it? Do you know?
Couple seasons.
3.
Okay.
2 seasons,
That's
I think.
2.
Because I could only handle the most I've ever gone through is 4 seasons of a series. Okay. After a while, it gets a little mundane and redundant. Cam, what do you got for me?
I feel like it's mood dependent, but I'm gonna go with my all-time fave, Boardwalk Empire.
Okay.
Nucky Thompson.
Yep, Nucky, Steve Buscemi.
How many seasons is that?
Steve Buscemi.
I don't know exactly how many. I want to say like
4 or 5.
Yeah, somewhere around there, 5-ish, 6.
Okay.
That's a little on the darker side now.
All right.
But I do like that gangsterism, lifestyle there.
Keeps you glued. Most of it really, really good. It's tough to do it for 4 seasons and how many? 8 to 10 episodes. That's tough to get a really good one every single time, but that one is more oftentimes than not good, huh?
Any of you guys watch Mad Men?
Yeah, man. It was
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out. Yeah, it was pretty good. My wife actually said to me over the weekend, "Hey, you want to rewatch?" I said, "Nope, I'm good. I've already seen it. I don't need."
It feels like a one-time.
Boardwalk was good. It got all over the place.
Yeah.
Tough to follow?
It wasn't tough to follow, but they were doing too much. Like, they kept going from New Jersey, see what Nucky Thompson had going on now with Prohibition and how the politicians that he was bringing in, then branching out to Chicago, kind of the rise of Al Capone. They're going to New York with Lucky Luciano, and they're kind of mixing in some of the White Sox scandal in 1919. It just was a lot going on. I had to start fact-checking. When I have to start fact-checking, I get annoyed with things. Because, like when they start lying about things, and you're like, some is true.
Yeah.
A lot isn't true. So Boardwalk was great.
So
until,
mine was True Detective. That's what I recommended.
Season 1?
Season 1, Season 2, and 3. Those are, but Season 1 by far is the best in my mind. Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson is in that one. It is you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I thought this was like new things. I would have went a little further in my bag if we go back a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you got something,
Mindhunter would it be mine?
What is it, Bounty Hunter? Mindhunter.
Yeah, Mindhunter is about the CIA, kind of like when they started doing the psychological profiling of serial killers. Nice. So this is about the two officers or agents, that started the profiling and what they had to do.
I'm going to write that down, Mindhunter.
And what they started doing, and the last thing I'll say is they started going into the jails and talking to some of these young, at the time, serial killers to get into their head, and then the rest, I'll let you. It was 2 seasons. I cannot believe they did not do a season 3.
Okay.
Mindhunter.
How old is that, do you think?
2019 or 20.
Okay, not too old.
No. That's right. Maybe even 21.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one. I'm going to look that one up, man. I can't wait to...
I guarantee you like the actor that plays Co-Star, like the second detective.
Okay.
Like, I guarantee you know him, and he's in your wheelhouse.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm all over that.
Mindhunter.
That's good. All right. I've written that down. Thank you. And thank you for all the suggestions. We appreciate it. If you got any in the chat, fire away, man. We'd love it. Some of them, I think it depends on how long it is, people's attention spans, right? Breaking Bad, my kids had to convince me to watch it. And I did watch it. I watched it all the way through, and I thought it was excellent. It's probably the only show I've ever watched where I didn't like one character. I mean, I ended up, when all was said and done, I hated them all. I mean, I could not care less.
This is a good hate or a bad hate?
Just there was nobody there that I was rooting for.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shady MFs.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff going on.
Shady MFs on that show.
A lot of them. Yeah. So Kool-Aid mentioned Michigan and Michigan State. What were your impressions last night? First, let's talk about the number 1 team in the country that just opened up a proverbial can. Had lost.
It's like finally number 1.
They lost by 27 last year at Mackey.
Hey, get it. Hey.
And by the way, the 11-point difference does not indicate how much better Michigan was.
So
they
right?
chilled in the second half, man. Yeah. They chilled in the second half. That was an ode to Shep. Shep's been doing the BTA dance last couple of weeks. Shout out to Michigan. I mean, this is just another test of how good this team is, how great they can be at the start of games. They do everything well. Even in the game in the second half, you would see Purdue would try to mount a little bit something here or there. Here's Elijah Cassiu. He's starting to have, second half is becoming his part of the game. And you see this in Michigan State game. You see this against, you saw this when they came back against Nebraska. You saw that against, it was another big game they had not too long ago.
They came back against Northwestern.
Northwestern, and he played well down the stretch. So they're getting it from all over. Trey McKinney pops up with another 15, 100%. Yara was still there. Yaks. Everybody is contributing. Sorry,
they backed up the talk of Yaks. I can tell you that.
And it was
remember that was like 4 months ago though. So we're not going too far with it. We didn't want to take that. We didn't. Yeah, but you're right. And Purdue used it as bulletin board material. So yeah, Elliot Kedju was 17, really impressive. And then you bring in Kaysen off the bench, and you don't really miss a beat. So the point guard position. I had a debate with a friend of mine on Saturday night, who said, "Yeah, I think Michigan's pretty good." And I go, what don't when you say pretty good, what are they missing? He's like, I'm not sure about the guard play. I said, you don't like Ali Keju? You don't like the depth that they have at that position, and guys, multiple ball handlers.
Michigan's one of those teams. I don't care if it's basketball, I don't care if it's football, I don't care if it's hockey, I don't care if it's baseball. If Michigan is good, people will try to find ways. Mm-hmm. And this, I'm not even speaking as a Michigan guy. This is what it is. People, as good as Michigan was in 2021, 2 and 3. You had people in 23 like, it was like, I just haven't seen enough out of the passing game. All right, we'll wait and see. Yeah. So that's always the case.
That's a really good point, because they're number 1 in basketball. They're number 2 in hockey. They're number 6 in women's basketball, if that means anything for you.
1,000%. I saw Nas Hillman got her jersey retired last week. That was great. Yep. She was part of that kind of resurgence of Michigan women's basketball. So shout out to the Michigan women.
She was part of the surgence. They've really never really had a good. I mean, they had Diane Dietz. She's their all-time leading scorer, but they've had some girls come through there, but teams-wise, she was the real deal for sure.
1,000%. I was very, very intrigued and excited after the game. I think that's where, as it relates to the Michigan game, that was the most important part of the Michigan game. It was the post-game conversation that was had by Mike Painter and the comments that he made about Michigan. It's one thing to kind of assume what a team is. It's another thing to try to noviceally watch and say, okay, this is where they're deficient. This is what they are. It's another thing when you have a coach that is elite, like Mike Painter, maybe a bit of a but elite as a coach, as Purdue's record would show in the last 7 years or so, come out and say the things that he said about Michigan. I thought it was very indicative of who Michigan was, and I was glad somebody said it.
Yeah, I think he was dead on there. When I called Michigan, I always had a really good relationship with Matt, but he was a good player. Matt was a good player at Purdue. He's had really good teams. He knows what it takes to win this conference. Here's what Matt Painter had to say after the game. There's one thing giving a team its flowers. There's another team giving people the reality of the situation. So when somebody asks the question, well, this team's really good, they're starting to spread themselves and divide themselves from the pack, how do you try to make that up? Matt Painter came back and basically said, hold on a second, let me tell you what this is really all about. This is what Matt Painter had to say.
All 3 of the losses at home to elite teams, but
Correct.
I guess for a team with your expectation level, how frustrating is it to have not taken advantage of one of those opportunities?
Yeah, you have to play better. You have to play better. Like, these guys got us on the glass. Illinois got us on the glass. Iowa State took us to the woodshed. Your final test is in the NCAA tournament. That's the way I look at it. Sure, you want to win those games, but we're not. If we'd have won it, we wouldn't have had a parade, right? We'd be like, whatever. If we win this game, it doesn't mean we go to the Final Four. You got to win 4 games to go to the Final Four. It just puts you in a better stratosphere in terms of your seed. But our goal was to win the Big Ten. These dudes ain't losing 4 games. We got 4 losses. They ain't losing 4 games.
Exactly right. They're not losing 4 games. I mean, I think they've, real easy to say, they've got the Big Ten sealed up, okay? And I don't care about the Big Ten tournament. I don't think they do either. But they're clearly the best team in college basketball, and they're clearly the best team in the Big Ten right now. Now, they're going to get tested this weekend, okay? Saturday against Duke, that will be a test because Duke is good.
Well, the good news for University of Michigan is that happens to be my birthday, so go Blue. We will win that.
Are you going?
Well, no. We're not going. It's not even Michigan.
No, I know. It's in Washington, D.C. Yeah.
No. I'll be at the house celebrating with the fam. No, I appreciate that comment by Mike Painter, though. I appreciate the whole conversation. It's a thing when you give flowers. Like you said, it's nothing when you tell the truth. The truth is, as good as a coach as I've been, this is what I'm seeing out here right now. 1, 2, 3. And he labeled that out for you, so now you can believe in it. I remember my junior year, we played Purdue. Speaking of Purdue, played Purdue, and we beat them 38-0. I played the first half, had 2 touchdowns. Jason Devine had a touchdown. Steve Breston had a reverse for a touchdown. Chris Perry, he finished 3rd in the Heisman that season, so that tells you what he did.
Yeah.
And coming into that game, they were chipping. They were talking stuff. They were chipping. Michigan, we saw them last year. They're not necessarily this. They barely beat us. A lot of that. We didn't do any of that. They came in, we waxed that ass. And so after the press conference, He's talking about the receivers. He said, I've never seen receivers block like this.
Joe Tiller, you're talking.
Joe Tiller. He said, we've never seen receivers block like this. There's a reason why, Chris Perry, if I was Michigan State, I would be alert to how important those receivers are in the run game on the defensive side of the ball. He just started going down a list of why Michigan was that good. He said, I know Ohio State is the reigning national champ, but they're not the best team in the Big Ten. And everybody was like, all right. Fast forward. Michigan State was ranked ahead of us the week after, blew them out too. Next week, blew out Northwestern, and then we beat that Ohio State team that was reigning national defending champ. When Joe Tiller said that, he saw what he saw.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about going against a rival in the Big Ten or don't want to give the credit that you see. This is what I saw. You can take it for what it was.
Exactly. That's
what Painter said last night. Hey, you can take this information as it relates to Dusty May in this game or not. It's not up to me.
Right.
We know what we saw last night.
And like I said, Matt Painter's seen good teams play against him. Yeah. He's seen his teams who are really good.
How many times was he number one between 2019?
Yeah. He's had that experience. There's no doubt about it. The thing that impressed me most about Michigan last night, this is the statistic that should blow you away. They had 30 field goals made. They had assists on 24 of them. That is incredible. That type of ratio is simply incredible. Yeah. So you get 6 guys in double figures, really impressive. They've won 21 games by 10 points or more. They've won 11 straight games overall, and they are 6-0 against ranked teams to get to 25-1. Here's who they've beaten as a ranked team. You ready?
Yeah.
Auburn by 30. Gonzaga by 40. USC by 30. MSU by 12. Nebraska by 3.
Got him.
Had to come back.
Yeah.
And Purdue by 11.
You got to tell that to ESPN, who they're favoring Duke 51.3%.
Well, that's fine. To me, that would not be an upset.
I'm glad you bring that up. The reason why Duke is so good this year, one, it's Duke, but two, it's Cam Boozer. Shout out to Cam Boozer and his twin brother. Twin brother hasn't not figured it out yet. Cam has.
Yeah.
Cam's one of the best players in the country, and he probably will be top 3, we say. Maybe 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, I don't know who would go 1 over him, to be honest
Kansas,
with you.
dude from Kansas.
He's been his last game was awful. I mean, he's been so inconsistent. They're basing that on his athletic ability and projection.
And that's
that's
typically how
possible.
players get drafted.
Yeah, and that's typical how they get drafted. But if you're looking at what a guy has done so far, it's not close.
Okay, so so fair. There it is. He's number 1 type of talent,
for sure,
if you will. Michigan's one of those teams that, I know Yax is in the Naismith conversation, one of the 20, et cetera, et cetera. Michigan doesn't have that 1 star. Like, Michigan doesn't have that guy that's coming in and paying. He's going for 30. Or he has the ability to go for 30 plus. Or he's dropping 25. Michigan has guys at 19 points a game, 15 points a game, 16. Everybody contributes. And I wonder, does that help their success? Does that pan to what they do? They're not depending on that one player. Elijah Kaju was allowed to come in the second half and be the guy.
Yeah.
If they need to. I think that's what works for them as opposed to teams leaning on that 1 or 2 player.
Yeah, you had 9 guys play last night. 9 guys score last night. 6 guys reach double digits. Those who reached double digits: Yaxel Landeborg,
14.
Morris Johnson, who had a double-double, Amon-Ra, Elliot Kaju had 17. And you had L.J. Kaysen and Trey McKinney.
Yeah.
All those guys had double digits. If they didn't play as many guys and they didn't share the ball the way they do, and one guy wanted to be more dominant, they could. And they've chosen not to. This is their recipes for success. That's why they're off to the best start in school history.
If Cam Boozer doesn't come to play, if Jeremy Fears doesn't come to play, Michigan State and Duke struggle.
Agreed.
Struggle. I'm just saying it's an added element for Michigan to be able to have the way in which they work. Their success rate, I like it.
Yeah, it's hard to deny what they're doing. I don't care what you think of Dusty May, what you think of the players, or what you think of the program or the school. The one thing you have to admit, and we said this yesterday, and we say this pretty regularly, the one thing you have to admit, you have to recognize a team that is great. Now, have they proven that they can win a national championship? No. Because I had somebody tell me last night, wow, the Big Ten hasn't won since 2000. Yeah, thanks. I know that. But it doesn't mean that I can't judge a team after 26 games. Now, the final judgment will come when they reach the NCAA tournament. But if you don't want to judge a team right now because they haven't won since 1989 and the conference itself hasn't won since 2000, then don't participate in the conversation.
Here's a good question. Here's a fun question, too. And I want to show some love to Michigan State, so we'll do that after the question because I think last night was a turning point for Michigan State. I know it wasn't a big opponent, but I think it was a turning point. And after this, we can get to Vin Johnson, come back to that, et cetera. But
I think you're right about that. I do. I like how they bounced back because they had lost 3 of 4. It's the way they played as much as anything else. How many times have you and I talked about this? Your days in football, even you're playing the Patriots, right? You're getting steamrolled, and then what you learned from that and how you took it into the next time you played New England. You've told us that story, and it's an awesome one. It's very relatable to other sports, and it's very relatable to Michigan State. We'll get into that when we come back. Vin Johnson, Art and Jakes, and then more some basketball. Also, a lot of things. We're going to do rapid fire with Braylon today. Who he thinks might be the first team or the team in the NFL next year, first to worst and worst to first. The NBA rankings of front offices are out. You will be stunned where the hometown front office is. Somebody needs to have their head examined. It's all coming up here on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports.
Well, you know what? That guy is Ben Johnson Law. He doesn't need his head examined because he is the guy. He is the fighter. So let him fight for you. When things go wrong, make him the first call you make. First call you make because he get things done. VENfights.com. That's what you want to go to. And if it's a settlement, if it's a verdict, it doesn't matter because he wants all the smoke and he can get it done all the way.
Smoke.
Yeah, you know what it is, Shep. He and his team, they get it done the right way. He is the fighter. So let him fight for you.
We know Art and Jakes is your go-to great sports bar atmosphere. They've got 80 TVs to check out your favorite sporting events. They've got a ton of beers on tap for you to tap into, no pun intended, and they've got some phenomenal food. But they also are huge in supporting the community. Art and Jakes has just become the premier sponsor for the Romeo Lions Club St. Baldrick's Festival. It happens Saturday, March 14th in downtown Romeo. You can go get involved right now at RomeoSB.com. You can join the team, you can get your head shaved, or you can keep your hair. Just scan the code and contribute. Art and Jakes. The screen right now is holding that QR code. We would invite you to participate and have a lot of fun for a great cause at Art and Jakes Saturday, March 14th.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. VenFights.com.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty hungry right now. But I am also pretty thirsty, too. I wouldn't say no to a Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea after the show. Don't drink on the show. But after the show, I'd definitely say yes to a Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. You know why? Because it's really refreshing. It is. It's clean. It's crisp. It's only 100 calories, so I don't feel bloated. This season, when you're watching games like you watched last night, or maybe at 3 o'clock today, it's USA against Sweden. How about a Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea as Cam gets rolling?
Cam was
We'll
going
let
crazy.
the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, and please drink responsibly.
It's funny, I was over there listening to some the ladies from Lady Jane's talk about a guy texted her and sent her a picture of his abs without even having conversation or making conversation or saying anything. She said, "Why did you send pictures of your abs? I have my own abs to look at." Anyway,
that's a good comeback.
I was like, what? Well, the best thing about abs is you can get them at Planet Fitness with 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, 2,700 around the country. It's the gym for you. Everybody has the ability to get some abs out there. Trainers on deck, no judgment here, and then the locker rooms are squeaky clean. So if you want to come to get abs, or you just want to come and get some work in, Planet Fitness is the destination for you.
Hey, we back.
Here's a good question
I'm
for
not
you.
going to lie. I don't do enough abs.
You said what?
I don't do enough abs.
I do too many, but you really don't. You don't need to do abs more than twice a week. Really, just once. If you do a good session.
Oh, okay.
If you do a good session once a week, but 2 if you want to see results. Side note: Pistons and Michigan. I feel like it's very similar energy right there in terms of who do you feel most confident in to close the door. Like, do you think Michigan will win the national championship?
What a great question.
Or do you think the Pistons will get to the finals? I wouldn't say win the finals. I'll say get to the finals. Well, Michigan, I think, is a little bit more ahead.
I would agree with you on that because, let's face it, Michigan's pathway, we don't know it yet, but they're going to be a 1 seed.
Yeah.
So they're going to have some easier matchups early on. Obviously, they don't have to win as many games.
Right.
People always want to be proven by a certain team, right? So the constant words that I've heard about the Pistons is, well, they haven't done it yet. Okay, well, neither have the Knicks. Okay, neither is this version of the Cavaliers. Has this version of the Celtics done it?
Yeah.
In other words, so if you only want to buy into somebody who's done it, I guess you're all on for OKC. Okay, that's fine. But I would think just because of the route you will have to take, and the Pistons having to beat, in all likelihood, one or more than the Celtics, Knicks, and or Cleveland, that would be more challenging than what Michigan's about to face, at least until, the Elite Eight.
Speaking of the Knicks, here's a good comparison, and I'm done talking. The Knicks are the NBA's version right now of the Buffalo Bills. This season.
I like that.
This season for the Knicks is what last season was to the Bills.
Nice.
That's how people are looking at how they looked at the Bills. You got to win. This guy's not here. This guy's not here. It's a little bit shaky. This is your opportunity. Blah 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 blah. Yakety smackety. I feel like it's the same for the Knicks. It's like, hey, look, the East is weak. Jason Tatum's not here. The Pistons are still young. Blah blah blah. You guys are the team. You went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. The team that beat you, they're no longer there. This is your year.
I get it. Yeah.
Very similar. And you know how it ended for the Buffalo Bills.
Could be window closing if you're into windows for the New York Knicks. While the window is just cracking open for the Pistons, the window might be closing.
Closing time.
For the Knicks.
The Knicks made a drastic miscalculation, and no one talks about it. Everyone talks about what they can do, what they can add, who's the guy, who they can get rid of, and bring some people in.
About the coaching
tips. No, it's not even the coach. Okay. Yes, the coach for sure is. These moves are, I would say, equal. firing Tibbs with no clear replacement and nobody wanted the job. You gave up 5 first-round picks and all those players for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Nobody in the business looked at that as a good move. No one.
Okay.
No one.
So I don't value NBA draft picks quite as much as a lot of people.
5 of them,
but
as well as
for
players
Bridges,
too.
What I was about to say is 5 of them is excessive.
That's my fault. I cut you off.
That's all
Spit the water out.
That's all right. 5 is excessive. He's a good player, but 5 and then some is a little excessive, I think.
And I would think if you're putting 5 picks on the table, you're getting somebody just a little higher than Bridges.
He ain't even made it All NBA.
I know.
Yeah.
He hasn't even made. At least
I was trying to be nicer.
The move was
But
done
Bryant's
for
more
Rudy
true.
Gobert, but at least with Rudy Gobert, it was like, all right, he's defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
He's all pro defense.
All defensive team.
Not all pro, but all NBA. Excuse me.
Yeah, look, you
At
playing
least
in
there's a
the
little
NFL.
bit more there. But Mikal Bridges, it's like,
Yeah.
I know you won a national championship with these guys.
You think you're bringing that genie in the bottle with you, and it's
that's-
just not there. Yeah.
I mean, Brian, hold on, man. He
Leon
did that
Rose,
NBA
man.
Cup.
But you know who Leon Rose godson is? It's Jalen Brunson.
So Jalen Brunson wanted.
Boom!
Jalen Brunson gets.
There you go. Why you think DiVincenzo's not there anymore?
But
that was also Brunson.
But you're right. That is never mentioned.
Dope with New York.
Oh. Well, they had a really nice commercial together with
100%.
DiVincenzo. I'm surprised that he wanted him gone. He doesn't want the white shooter. Listen, real quick. Michigan State. I
was
thought
going to take that. It was going to go drastically.
I'll take DiVincenzo.
I would have got canceled. I'm glad I didn't say that.
You mentioned just before the break about
Mark
Michigan
Wahlberg.
State. They kind of found themselves, didn't they?
Yeah.
They blow out UCLA. They shoot 53%.
14 of 27 from the three-point line.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, Cohen Carr led the way 16. Jeremy Fears had a double-double, 16 points, 10 assists, I think. Spartans are now 21-5. Afterwards, somebody had a good question from Mick Cronin. If they had it back, Mick Cronin's the head coach at UCLA. If they had it back, I think they would phrase it differently. But I understand where they were going. I want you to listen to the exchange. If you haven't heard it already, I'd be surprised. But I do want Braylon's take on this. The exchange between a local Michigan writer.
Are we going to skip the event? Are we going to skip what he did? Because I want your thoughts on what he did.
We can if we can do that on the back end.
Yeah,
that'd
Oh,
be
yeah,
great.
like all of it.
Here's
I think it's all connected.
Here's the Mick Cronin comment after and question, I believe, from somebody in the Michigan media. Go ahead.
In the student section chanting Booker's name.
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant the overall the way that you.
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
All right, we'll take it.
Did you like
You should take it.
the preparation of the?
Do you really think I care about the other team's
No, I don't.
student
I don't
section?
think you care about the other.
Are you
teams.
raising your voice at me?
No, I'm just.
Yeah, you are.
talking.
Yeah, you are. Come on, dude.
No reason.
Come on. Yes, you were. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody. This is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section. I coach UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students. I mean, who cares?
He looks so bad there. He looks like a petty little baby. Okay. First of all, he cut the guy asking the question off not once but twice. And what the question was about to be is, hey, what did you think about the way Michigan State, the student section, handled the situation with a former Spartan player? Now, could you have phrased it differently? I suppose. If you want to get nitpicky, you can do that. But if people recall, Xavier Booker, who played at Michigan State, transferred, or went to Michigan State, transferred to UCLA, they actually gave him a round of applause at the beginning. So that's, I think, where the writer or the reporter was trying to get to. Mick Cronin wouldn't let him finish. This and for him to sit there, in my view, for him to sit there and go, "Are you raising your voice at me?" First of all, I didn't hear anybody raising their voice. That's number one. And number two, dude, you get paid millions of dollars to raise your voice and chew out referees and your team. You also sent one of your players to the locker room, Stephen Jameson, sent him to the locker room because he got a technical foul. What a sensitive coach Mick Cronin is.
Yeah, he's wound a little too tight, man. He got to get his panties out of his butt. Like, I don't understand what last night was for him. And I think what you saw in that moment right there, that was him already embarrassed for how he had treated that player, which I'll get into, and now doubling down on it. He's already embarrassed. He's always feeling type of way. Now he feels like people are attacking him in this moment of insecurity and sensitivity when you're the reason why we're having these conversations, and it wasn't anyone trying to attack you in that moment. I think he had a bad night last night, and I think he had let the bad night elevate even more after the game was over because it was still fresh. Like, it wasn't like a situation where the ejection came with 8 minutes left in the first quarter, and he had a ton of time to think about it as the game progressed and the game was over. This happened right at the end of the game, and then this interview probably happened 10, 12 minutes after. He made himself look bad. He made himself look bad twice. First of all, let's get to the player. The player, yes, hard foul, came down. And I don't like that the player wasn't the effort. The effort was there.
Yeah,
the hustle was there. The intensity was there. You're down 25 plus. You're still hustling like that at the end of the game. You get a foul. I didn't like after he fouled him, he got in the guy's face like, you weren't the one that ran down here and slapped me in the back of the head. Like, why are you getting in my face? You did that to me. With that being said, he should have sat him on the bench, had a conversation with him, and then the hard stuff he could have done in the locker room. They could have got to a place where there was some understanding. This isn't what we do at the University of UCLA, but he didn't. Right in front of all these people, he undressed this kid.
Yeah.
Like, he basically showed him up. This, and in the words of Stan Edwards, that's Bush League stuff. That's Bush League stuff. And then you send him out there, you grab my jersey, you send him out, and then now you're talking to these reporters. This is your chance to kind of humanize yourself. This is your chance to kind of think about the moment, and this is your chance to show UCLA, the Bruins, I'm talking about the people that pay your salary, show them, you know what, I'm remorseful, I went a little bit too far. Hey, look, I just want to take a moment. I maybe went too far right there, sir. What did you have to say? Answer the question, go from there. That way you at least save some shred of dignity walking out of there. He lost on the court. He lost on the court twice. And then he lost afterwards, so in that hallway.
He looked like he was out of control on the floor with Stephen Jamerson, who, by the way, is a senior. Okay, so to treat a senior like that, and I don't know the relationship. I don't know. Maybe he's given them grief in the past. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You want to sit him down and sit him for the rest of the game? That's fine. But doing that in public just makes you look worse. Number one. Number two, you do that. Everybody else on that bench, everybody on the floor sees that.
It's over.
Okay, it's over. Remember, this is the same guy who last year, when they got steamrolled early in the season, talked about how these guys don't deserve to wear the jersey, that these guys don't work hard enough, that I'm in here all the time, these guys aren't. He threw his assistants under the bus. This is a guy who had a really good, strong reputation in Cincinnati and Louisville. And he's ruining it. And he's ruining it in more than one way. If I'm a booster at UCLA, and if I'm a recruit for UCLA, and if I'm a parent for a recruit, I'm thinking twice about how if this dude acts that way publicly, how's he acting privately with some of these guys? And I'm not the guy who sits there and goes, oh, these guys deserve to be patted on the back and patted on the ass. No way. You want to pull his ass, go right ahead. You know what? That's Bush League. We don't do that at UCLA. Sit down. You're done for the game. Fine. But to tell him to go into the locker room at that point was flat out wrong.
On every level of sports, it's like we know that. Like, our coach will call us off and tell us, like, look, sit down when it's time. But that, I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen where a coach has told the player just dip to the locker room.
I'm glad you said that too, because when they talked to Tom Izzo, who was the head coach of the player who got hit, who occurred the technical foul, Tom was like, Tom didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Coach Izzo did not think it was that big of a deal for Mick Cronin to act like that, and he was like, well, mix Mick, mix Mick
helps to win by 23, but you're right. Yeah,
but he also said the same thing. He said he had never seen that as well. Just think about this, all right, on the football side of things. When a player is ejected in college football for targeting, how sad does everyone around look when you got to walk that young man? I know they're a little bit older these days, but typically 18 to 21. When you got to walk that young man into the locker room, like the fans, like, oh, our guy's gone. Coaches, they look like, we hate that we got to walk you into the locker room, but it's part of the rule. You got hit, you got a target, and you got ejected. Player looks dejected. Everybody's dejected for this young man. And this is when you violate a rule. This is when you have to leave. People feel like that, no matter what the play is. Now, if it's a huge hit and you think the guy was wrong, you still feel bad he gets kicked out.
Yeah.
This guy didn't get kicked out. This guy didn't have a targeting. This guy didn't get ruled out because of something that he did.
He was embarrassed by his
that
own
part.
guy.
That part.
Okay?
That part.
It's you don't handle people that way.
Who's
all right? The way I hope every coach tries to do this.
Yeah.
Okay? It's okay to have expectations.
Yeah.
It's okay to push guys. You've been pushed plenty by your father and other coaches. I have no issue with that whatsoever. It's how would you want your child to be coached? Okay? Now, everybody's different. Kool-Aid's got a different personality. He can only take so much. Braylon can only take so much. Cam, it's up to you as a coach to figure those personalities out and what you can do and what you can't do. This is not figuring something out like that. This is embarrassing a senior who's from Los Angeles, California, and dreamed of going to UCLA or maybe USC at one point, but either way, who takes a great deal of pride in wearing that jersey, and you just embarrassed him on national TV and in front of his entire team. How much more give will he have for you the rest of the way? And by the way, your team's also on the bubble.
Yeah.
Your team has a chance to make the NCAA tournament in a series, in a situation where you would like your seniors to help lead the way to your team getting in the NCAA tournament moving forward.
I think because UCLA is on the bubble, because they're still fighting to get into the tournament, I think UCLA, as it relates to the board, they won't move him now. They won't move Mick Cronin. He won't get fired and things like that. They'll finish the season out. But he'll be gone at the end of the season.
I would think so.
He'll be gone because UCLA is a prestigious institution. They run things a prestigious way, like legitimately. Like I feel like in UCLA basketball, you still got like the ghost of John Wooden running around there a little bit. So we'll see what's going on with that. But you just don't operate that way. And also, it's 2026. Like parents are much younger. Much more different. They do not let anybody talk to their kids that way. Like kids don't they don't allow it. Like you just can't talk to kids that type of way anymore. Remember 2021, we were talking about Tom Izzo. Like him coaching kids a little bit too hard, which I didn't agree with.
I do remember that.
Even remember that a little bit?
I remember
in
that.
It, right in the hallway area. Like,
I remember that.
That was the thing. And this is Tom Izzo. Like you can't do things in 2026. This is 5 years later. Like with people watching. And like with everybody having access to it, because now you're losing recruiting. Now you're losing money. Like UCLA can't afford to lose much more. Like outside of swimming and track and women's softball.
Yeah, volleyball maybe.
Oh, volleyball. Yeah. You don't have very much going for
Yeah,
it.
they don't. I mean, they've already made mistakes for head coaches. Jim Mora, Deshaun Foster, you name it. They made mistakes on the football side. They thought they got a winner on this side. He's a guy who's willing to push players, and I'm all for that, but you don't treat players like this. How bad is it? The 4 Big Ten teams on the West Coast, Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and USC, they are a combined 6 for 19, or 6 and 19, in Big Ten games outside of their time zone.
So first of all, I just want to do this. I just want to clap it up. And the reason why I want to clap it up is for years, when these football teams were going on the West Coast and losing to those West Coast teams, they can't come over here.
That's right.
They can't play in the West Coast. They can't play in these stadiums.
Yeah.
They're not ready for the atmosphere that's UCLA. They're not ready for the Coliseum.
They don't want the smoke.
They're not ready for Autzen Stadium. I ain't gonna lie, it was crazy out of Autzen, but they're not ready for it. But what happens when you bring them over here? It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Looking at football and basketball.
It's a little bit colder.
A little bit colder.
Yeah.
That travel.
So cold,
Also, not being able to get on a regimented time by game time is a real thing.
I agree.
I mean,
I broadcast a game one time. We went to UCLA. I looked at that campus and I said, first of all, I don't know how anybody in their right mind doesn't go here and say, I'm not leaving. It's so pristine. It's beautiful. Met John Wooden, walked the campus, a lot of the campus with John Wooden and the people with him. It was awesome. And I go in for the game, and a guy's got this almost like a winter coat. It's similar to the coat that you have.
Okay.
And I said to him, "Hey, a little chilly today?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's cold." I said, "Bud, you have no idea what cold is if you think this is cold." I mean, I was strictly in a polo.
Yeah.
Because from Michigan, back in Michigan, it's 20 degrees, and they started laughing. So when they come here, it's a shock to the system.
Oh, yeah.
It's a total shock to the system.
I'll never forget, man. This is my junior year. We played Oregon at Autzen Stadium. We left on a Friday. See, this is before they got a little smarter. Leave earlier. Like, I'm sorry, Lloyd. I didn't mean to call you out. I'm sorry, Lloyd. You know I love you. Come on, man. You know you're my guy. But, yeah, we left at, I think the flight was like 10 10 on Friday. You get out to Oregon at 12. You go to the stadium. You have the walk around at Autzen Stadium. You do the song and dance. You get back to the hotel. You have meetings. You have film, meetings, more film, a little bit of downtime, dinner. Then you go to bed. You're completely off schedule. Then you wake up essentially out there, but you're still on Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
So I'm waking up out there. It's like 5 a.m. out there, and maybe 4 a.m. out there, and then I got to play this day.
Yeah.
So it's 4 a.m. I have to play a 12 o'clock game because the game's going to be 3 o'clock out here. Man, you get into that game, and you don't wake up until the second half. You're trying to make right. You're trying to make right is left, left is right, up is down, down is up. Like, that's how it felt back then, going to the West Coast to play against those teams. I'm not making excuses. There were some good teams out there, but it's a little bit of a help when you go out the day before.
Amen.
I'm glad they go out.
But I totally agree with that. By the way, Iowa upset Nebraska last night by 5, in case people were wondering. Nebraska.
What was the game at?
That was at Iowa, the Carver Hawkeye. Nebraska ranked 9th in the country. Yep. And Ohio State beat the crap out of Wisconsin by 17.
You know what that's called? It's called the Big Ten every year.
I know it is.
Big Ten is weird like that every year. Iowa's going to have a couple games. You're like, is this team really like that?
Yeah.
Ohio State will have the random game where they tap back into, when Greg Oden and Mike Conley Jr. were there. This team's pretty good. Wisconsin.
John Diebler shooting from 3. Yeah.
Purdue will fake be number 1 for a little part of that year. Sorry, Painter.
What that does is that'll immediately put people on notice in the NCAA tournament when they look at their brackets and say, I remember when I was watching Iowa beat Nebraska, they could be a sneaky pick. That's going to be a tough one to get by in the first round. That's what the Big Ten oftentimes does.
And you start looking like, where's their region? Like, where they playing at? How far is it from Des Moines? How far is it from Iowa City? Can their fan base, jump in some cars and get there?
Be careful going through Iowa, man. Yeah. It can be desolate, man. I did a hockey game one time in Minnesota at Williams Arena. Drove to Iowa because I did the hockey game like on a Friday, and I drove right after the game to Iowa for a basketball game on Saturday. And I'm driving through Iowa, and I'm looking around. I'm like, holy crap, if I break down in this rental car, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I saw one barn with one of those big bright lights way out. It was like a movie set. I didn't see anything around me. No cars. It was desolate. I was like, oh my goodness.
I tell you what, if I was driving, you seen them police though. Saw them high beams.
Not in Westland though. So sticking with basketball, we saw this from the NBA the other day, and it was surprising to me, to say the least. They ranked NBA Central. CBS Sports ranks the top 30 front offices in the NBA. The Pistons, who have done under Trajan Langdon an incredible job of stocking this team with the right players and making it a culture fit, not just for the city, but for the team itself. Sometimes that doesn't always work. You can talk about lunch pail and going to work and all this other stuff. You got to have the right guys who do that, right? We say that as a city because we like to embrace it. Yeah. But if the players aren't carrying that out, that's tough to say. He has done that. They've got them at 16. And I'd love to know if they've peed in a cup lately.
Behind Brooklyn?
Behind Charlotte? Behind Memphis? Behind Utah? Utah just got fined. Utah just got fined for tanking. And they put them behind Utah? Are you flipping kidding me? And of course the Knicks are at 7. It is one big
We just got done talking about the Knicks.
It's unreal. It is unreal. The same Knicks team that Bray just brought up, they didn't even have a plan on what to do when they fired Thibodeau. Let's go get Mike Brown.
People don't even want that job, man. But 7th, though.
It ruins the reputation of the organization. I mean, the CBS Sports organization or the website, not the Pistons.
That's terrible, dog.
It is.
Look at Bray looking back.
You're blown away by this,
Atlanta Hawks?
I know.
They're the worst franchise in basketball.
They just had to trade their franchise player.
No. Like the Atlanta Hawks and the Washington Wizards are running a tight race for the worst franchise front office wise as it relates to the NBA, and they have them 13 out of 30.
Tight race.
I'm not BS. Shep, am I BSing?
No.
Atlanta would be ahead by a hair.
I don't care if
It's
they're
a fight.
I don't care if they're the 10 seed right now. That's not what his point is. I think it's ridiculous that they have at least 6 teams, and this is not being a homer by any stretch.
Yeah.
At least 6 teams ahead of Detroit is asinine.
Man, they got the Knicks on there. Maybe
How
aggressive.
do they have Brooklyn ahead of them? And
That's
only
a
one
head
spot.
scratcher, bro. Like, what have they done at all?
What's
Just no,
Stunk it up
one
at every
team?
time.
Give me the one team that you look at and you're like, really? For me, it's Utah. When I saw Utah at 8, I almost threw my computer out the door. I'm seriously, man. I wanted, but I had to keep going because I wanted to see where Detroit was. When I saw Utah, I said out loud, "Are you effing kidding me?"
Like, realistically, don't let the fact that Edgecombe and Maxey are elite as well. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Chef. Don't let it take away from you that Maxey as well as Edgecombe are a really good backcourt.
Yeah.
Like, don't let that take away from you. Philadelphia at 9?
Yeah.
They've been a train wreck.
It's incredible.
They've been a train wreck for years.
If people don't think there's
Daryl Morey still
seriously, if people don't think there's a bias, and some people might look at this and say the 4 of us are being biased toward Detroit. Okay, let's say I give you that. Even you, who might be on the East Coast and might be a fan of a different organization, has to admit that 16 is far too low.
16 is wild to me, man. Especially when you consider this offseason, when it was offseason of pivot for Trajan Langdon. They went in with their game plan. They were going to bring back Schroeder. They were going to bring back Beasley. And Tim Hardaway, he was looking for a different situation to try and win a title. So he vaulted to a title contender. Dennis Schroeder got offered starter money. None of us knew that was going to happen. And then we all understand what happened with Beasley. Even through that, did he allow that to derail what this Pistons team was going to be? No. And I think that this harkens right back to what Braylon was saying. Do people understand or know Javonte Green, Danis Jenkins? Bray just talked about this yesterday. And so I think Paul Reed, right? Our big guys go down. There's been multiple games where Jalen Duren or Stu or both of them haven't played.
I don't think they're looking at it as closely as we look at it. So I'm
right.
trying to give them a little bit of grace there. But when you describe one of those teams, Utah at 8, and one of the lines in the write-up about that team is the tanking is almost over, that tells me their front office is whacked.
To use a mob term, not as real. I would say, the only thing I can see in common is all these people, 15 through 1 is the spending. Like, it's maybe the spending. You look at it, they spend money or they have spent money or been successful. But
because you spend money, like you said, if you don't spend it wisely, Memphis is at 11. I want you to think, how's the Ja Morant working out for them?
we were waiting every day for his trade proposal or where he's going. I think we're waiting at the end of the season. What's the next move for Ja? Can he get back to the level that he was essentially on? Like, there's nothing good coming out of Memphis outside of smoke ribs.
Atlanta drafts Trae Young. He's the face of their franchise.
Technically.
He's on the outside of their building on various, little canopies and so on and so forth, and they trade him. Detroit, that is ranked lower, their face of their franchise, just comes off his second straight All-Star, just as mentioned in the MVP conversation, and they ink him to a long-term deal.
Yeah.
But Charlotte
makes sense.
Charlotte and New York were playing hot potato with Jalen Duren, and then it wound up in the lap of the Detroit Pistons. Think about that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, it is absolutely hilarious. Actually, and it's funny, they drafted Luka Doncic, so you can start there.
Yeah.
They watched that one too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because my thing is, like, even when you look at the future of some of these teams, I don't know what this is going to really do. Like the Charlotte Hornets, are you really hopeful about what they have? The Atlanta Hawks, we don't even know really what they're trying to do. Like, there are some rumblings.
Do you know what Brooklyn's trying to do?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what really
they drafted 16 guards last year.
The Pistons are trying to do.
They're just trying to remind people that they're still an NBA team. That's all. In New York, I think.
Maybe that's what they're doing. It ruins the reputation of the media if it isn't ruined already. Here's what they write about the Pistons. Tell me where you roll your eyes. Pistons are consistently among the harder front offices in basketball to rank. They're 84-51 since Trajan Langdon took over.
Start there.
Okay.
That's a great start point. Great start point.
Okay. Currently, they hold the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Pause. It's another great point.
Look at their faces.
2 for 2.
It's like somebody's getting goosed.
Yeah.
What Langdon has done exceptionally well, and why Weaver no longer has the job, is struggling to find one, is finding the right veterans and the buttons to push. Last year it was Tobias Harris, Dennis Schroeder, Malik Beasley. Langdon wisely pivoted to Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson, who have both been as advertised.
Those 3 points right there, they tell me that that's a starting point of 10 or lower. Like, just based on that, it has to be 10 or lower.
Exactly.
Just starting there.
Danish Jenkins is one of the better two-way finds in the system's young history.
It's more
Would it be easier to judge Langdon in the somewhat near future if he had, say, traded for Michael Porter Jr.? But patience in Detroit's case is a reasonable virtue. So in other words,
they
you wanted
a bunch of moves and then said patience.
move.
He just didn't do the move that we all or some of y'all wanted him to make. But he's made the right moves. And I think that should be valued. That, to me, is what's being underestimated here as it relates to Trajan Langdon. He's just made the right moves. He hasn't pressed the pedal the way we've wanted him to. He's done it the way he knows to. And that's the reason why Tom Gore said he brought Trajan Langdon here.
Yeah, we're not always right, by the way.
Yeah,
okay?
We're not.
No, we're definitely not always right. What this is right now is they're trying to hold the Pistons down as long as they can. We know they don't like Detroit. It is what it is. Detroit has to go out there and improve. They don't like the fact that they haven't brought in another superstar. They haven't superstarred it up. They didn't make the big trade. They didn't mess up their future for the immediate future right now. They don't like that. What the Pistons have to do, though, Shep, this is what we got to do. We got to go all the way this year. We got to at least get to the finals. And then we have to do it again the following year. And then we got to knock it down again. And then we got to do it again. Because until we do it again, until we do it consistently, they won't believe in it. We got to take the ability for them to do this to us off the table. That's what we got to do. Because right now we're at the mercy of the people that want to be like, oh, they're 16. Oh, their front office sucks. Oh, I don't think K can be the face of the league. Oh, I don't think they can be the Knicks. Oh. It's until we do it consistently. Once we knock that door down, once we show them in their face, we've arrived, and then we do it again, then they can no longer.
I think you're right about that. I wonder where the consistency is for some of these other teams. None of us are.
I ain't even worried about
that. That's why Bray is right. That is a Detroit.
But none of us. I don't think any of us are saying they're a top 5 organization and all that. That's where you start to lose it. Okay, nobody's better than OKC. What they've done, and they've proven it over time and time and time. If you think like Trajan Langdon needs a little bit more seasoning because you don't want to judge him just yet, then write that. But all the things that he has done, most, if not all, okay, I would say 85% has been the right thing to do for this team, at least to this point, okay? And they deserve to be a hell of a lot higher than 16. I think they're a top 10. I think they're better than 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15. I really like Miami's front office, quite honestly.
I do too.
But for Utah to be, right. I think it's absolutely asinine and borderline comical that Utah is at 8.
But that's the fun thing about this. And I had to make sure that it was a legit site. Sometimes they be getting us with that.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the fun thing about this, though. Like once you see,
it's that bad.
Once you see Utah at 8, Shep, like we can just ball this up and throw it away.
You're right.
Once you saw Utah at 8, I still don't like the Philadelphia, and then like you said, Memphis, the Nets,
and Brooklyn.
It's like, all right, I mean.
Again,
but
this is where if I'm the editor, I'm going to give you a little cup. I want you. The bathroom's right around the corner. Yeah. I need you to pee in it.
You know what? In fact, we'll send the security guard too.
Yeah. Just all you got to do. Your name's on it. Just leave it on top of the commode. We're all good with that. All right, we'll take a quick time out. We've got some football discussion on the other side. The team that you think is going to go first to last and last to first. But we've got rapid fire.
Were the Lions in last place last year?
They were.
Throwing it out there.
We're going to go rapid fire with Braylon Edwards. We've got some really good questions for him. You can play along, too, in the chat. We always welcome the chat. Smash that like button. And Team USA is about to start against Team Sweden. Can't wait for that. That we will keep you updated on throughout as well. Canada won in overtime. Unbelievable backhanded goal by Mitch Marner. So they advanced, but they got the scare of their lives in that game to win it 4-3. Stay with us after this from Massage Chair and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning.
If you are looking to take your relaxation to the next level, like I know you are, then you guys got to visit the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. Think about that. So the Osaki that we have here, you guys can go there and you can experience the same. And so remember that, Osaki, other top brands like Infinity and others. So when you go to book your visit, you can be sure to check out those chairs and experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews. Follow him at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
What did we tell you yesterday? We told you Mother Nature does not mess around, all right? We've been in this state for way too long, this city way too long, to think that winter was over. Now suddenly, it's cold again. Tomorrow it's going to be cold. The following day it's supposed to be cold.
This is Michigan.
That's right, it's Michigan. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning totally get that because they're local too. I mean, 40 years, reliable service, treating customers like family. So they know that winter has not left us just yet. It's a perfect time to schedule maintenance on your heating system and make sure it's running safely, efficiently, and dependably. Go to SharonsHeating.com today or call them 734-238-3805 and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
What is up, y'all? Pistons are back on the hardwood tomorrow against the Knickerbockers. Anson's Peasants. Get your bets in. Any bet up to $1,000. If you lose, you get that bet back. All you got to do is scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, one whole stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
Gander's in net for Team USA. Connor Hellebuck. Yeah, you better believe it, baby. We're all about Michigan. So is Sam Adams, Cherry Weed. light, refreshing, brewed with real Michigan cherries. It is a tasty sip of Michigan, if you will. Woodward Sports is going to be back at Art and Jake's for round 2 of the Michigan State Hoops Watch Party. Cherry Wheat is riding shotgun. Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays especially. Get $5 shorts off Sam Adams Cherry Wheat at any Art and Jake's location across this great state. And tell them the Braylon Edwards show sent you.
Side note, man, welcome back to the Braylon Edwards show with Shep, second hour, getting it rocking and rolling.
Rocking and rolling.
Shep, I gotta start watching documentaries on Netflix. I just do.
I do too.
I'm gonna tell you why. They're fluff pieces, and I don't mind. At the end of the day, if history is made, it's written by the winners. And realistically, if you get one of these production companies, you have the money and you want to tell your story or tell the story of a show or a career or whatever, then go for it. Just know I'm not watching anymore. Last night I watched, it's a little bit funny, right? This is Britney's doing. Watched the Tyra Banks show. It was America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
100%. So they show kind of like that whole story is a documentary of the show. Tyra Banks get on here and she lies about everything. She lies about everything. She doesn't know the one stuff. She has no comment on certain stuff. Why did you get on here and do a 3-part documentary when you're going to get here and plead the fifth and fluff yourself up and what the project was?
I thought maybe it was just a non-speaking role for her. She could get away with not speaking at all.
The problem is she's better when she doesn't speak.
It's true.
If she opens up that mouth, man, Tyra's unhinged, if you will. But it just reminded me of the Schwarzenegger doc and the Elway doc and
well, it depends on who's putting it on, right? I mean, a lot of times these are steered by the companies that represent the athletes.
Exactly. Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha production.
100%.
Well, a lot of these guys have productions. Steph Curry's got a production. LeBron James got a production.
I know who Steph's backing is too. Got him in trouble. If you want to,
Manning, Tom Brady, they all have production studios.
Yeah, I don't want to hear from none of them because they're all fluffing themselves up and they pooping on other people. If you want to go get some
fluffing themselves,
you know what it is, man. 1970s, man. Look, if you want to go get a documentary, you want some hard hitting facts, go to Hulu or Prime. You'll get a little bit of insight. You go there. They give you a little nitty gritty, some of the backstory, some of the stuff that wasn't too clean, wasn't too fresh. Netflix is just gonna give you, I was amazing my whole life. Get out of here with that.
All right, let's get to some rapid fire, shall we? We'll keep you updated on Team USA against Sweden. All right, because you got some Michiganders in there. Although one Michigander is sitting, Kyle Connor is sitting for the second straight game, and it bothers me. I think Team USA needs scoring. And I'm a little surprised that Connor is supposed to be sitting in this game. I have not seen him yet, so we'll keep you updated. But I do wonder. This is a team. Look, when they eventually, hopefully, when they play Canada, I think the U.S. is really good on the back end, and I think they're better in net. But
got some scoring over there.
You got some incredible talent at the forward positions in Canada, although they did lose Sidney Crosby for the rest of the Olympics. All right, let's do rapid fire here, shall we?
Will win.
We're going to get to what are some certain NFL free agent destinations in a minute. First, I'm just going to give you...
I forgot to do this.
What do you mean? I'm going to give you the topic. I just want your initial thought. Ready? Okay. What do you think is the future of USA men's basketball in the Olympics? In 2 more years, in 2028, you're going to see it. Who do you envision being on that team? Not the entire roster, but some names that you envision on that team.
Ant-Man, Tatum, Flag, Holmgren, Banchero, Tyrese 1, Tyrese 2, Evan Mobley, Duran, Jalen Williams, Con Knipple with an asterisk, and of course, who's going to be the star of the team. It's Kate Cunningham.
Good. Okay.
And
so you want the whole roster. Why is there a star next to her? Why is there an asterisk next to
what's
Con
Knipple about?
Because I don't know if he's going to make the team or not. He's somebody that I like. He's somebody that I'm watching. He's somebody I got to see what happens in 2 years. But asterisk if he's going to make it. Everybody else I think is going to make it.
I got you.
100%. Right. But the medal that they win won't be gold.
Oh.
It won't be gold.
Look out.
Look out.
Okay. Do you have a prediction on who might win gold?
There's a couple countries out there. I mean, we saw one of them in 2024. I think there's some other countries that are ascending, Slovenia, if you will. But not necessarily about who I know that's out there. It's about who I know that won't be on USA.
Okay.
And one thing about USA, it takes a while to learn that role, to get in that role, understand what you're fighting for, understand what you're playing for. And if you tell me Tyrese Halliburton was on the team and so was Anthony Edwards, I would tell you one didn't play and the other one was running around just following KD like a kid in a candy store. Like, it took LeBron and those guys a while to understand what that was. And basketball has only gotten better since they got blown out in 04, if you will. So I say that the game's evolved, and I don't know if they have leaders yet. Cade is the guy that I'm pointing to. That's why I said his name last. I think he will be the guy. You saw the All-Star game, kind of how he's pointing people, placing people, being the leader on both ends. But the world's coming, and I don't know if they have enough right now in the leadership place.
Yeah, I wonder how I've always been fascinated how general managers or presidents of organizations piece together teams like this. It's kind of like what Bill Guerin did with Team USA for this Olympic run by USA Hockey. There are some guys, Jason Robertson, Cole Caulfield, who I thought might be on this team. It's not one of those situations where you go, well, you know what? Here's the top 26 NHL players in scoring on the latest website, so we're going to take all those guys. It has to be a fit. So you thought about these guys, how they're going to fit, their games fit with one another. I sure as hell hope it's good enough to win gold, but that's a great answer.
Just look at the championship game, 2024. Like, that game, just for USA, it featured some of the greatest NBA players of all time. I don't feel like going down what people are ranked, but when you're talking about LeBron, Steph, and KD, you're talking about guys that are top 15. It's, scoring-wise, definitely players. It took them everything that LeBron and everything that Steph had to win that game.
Yeah.
Like, it took them everything, and these are some of the greatest players in NBA history, and they were that close. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at that element.
That's a good point. No, that's a really good point. All right, next one. Ready? Next rapid fire.
Boom.
What USA Olympian would you want for the Red Wings? If you could have one guy off this USA roster, who would it be?
Oh, shoot. Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews.
I
like Austin Matthews a lot. He's gotten a lot of ridicule on social media, especially from Toronto, being the captain of the Maple Leafs, now being the captain of Team USA. They don't feel like, he's stepped his game up in postseason play. I think he's a really good 200-foot center. I love that answer. I really do. I think it's a phenomenal answer. Mine would be Brady Tkachuk. And here's the reason why. I know there's some people rolling their eyes a little bit. I think Detroit is missing a power forward, a guy who will throw his body around but can also score. He is not a role player, all right? He is not the guy who just all he's going to go out there and goon it up. He's skilled, but he's physical and skilled, and that's what you need. This team's was sluggish a couple of games ago. It turned around like that when he went out there and started throwing the body. And when they beat Germany, he was the big reason why, because he's throwing the body around. I know people don't like him, which is funny to me in Detroit.
Do you like him if he comes here?
You better believe you'd like him if he came 100%. Here. Would you like Matthew Tkachuk? You better believe you would like them. I want guys who have that edge. You talked about it yesterday. I want the defensive end who gives me a little bit of an edge. You're right about that, okay? He said it yesterday. That's what I need in certain players. Not all of them, but certain players.
That was off air.
It was off the air, but it was right on.
I appreciate
that. Next one. Worst to first. Who's got the best shot going worst to first in the National Football League in terms of their division?
Yeah.
And who's got the best shot at going first to worst?
Lions have the best shot, realistically, but that's too easy. One is close to home. Two, it is really easy considering what they were the year before, and what they still have. So I'll go outside the box. I'll say the Giants.
Ooh.
I'll say the Giants. We understand what that division is. We understand every year there's a new winner, and every year each team has its own poop show type stuff going on. Cowboys, can you trust Dallas and Brian Schottenheimer and what they're going to be? Can you trust the Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni, who they seem to want to fire every single year?
Yeah.
Can you trust what Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn are building in Washington? I think they got a shot. They got Jim Harbaugh, and there's another question that you're going to ask me later. One of those free agents is going to be with the Giants. So give me the Giants.
Okay. I'm going to go with, besides the obvious of the Lions.
The Lions, yeah.
I'm going with New Orleans. 6 wins a year ago. Tyler Shuck
like Tyler
proved
Shuck
to
like
be
that?
better. He was better than I
Okay.
thought he would be. Okay, he's more elusive than I thought he would be coming out of Louisville. And it's primarily that division. Even though I think Atlanta can win that division next year, I don't believe in Carolina, and I think Tampa's on the downside. What about the team that goes first to worst?
This is the one. Let me see. Let me take my time on this one because the one that I thought about is like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So the one I thought about while you're looking is
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. I don't think it's a great fit there, Mike McCarthy. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback, but it sounds like they want to bring Aaron Rodgers back. And as much as I respect how good Pittsburgh is and their tradition, Baltimore is in all likelihood going to reassume the position at the top. I think Cincinnati, I mean, if you look at what Joe Burrow did last year when he came back from injury, Joe Burrow was number 3 in Pro Football Focus grade. I know, collective eye roll. But he was number 3 in yards and number 2 in touchdowns. If they can keep him healthy and they address their needs, I could see that. And I could see Pittsburgh dropping to Cleveland's level where they tie for last. How about you?
This is low-hanging fruit, and it's very similar to the Lions situation where they were the obvious answer. The obvious answer to this one would be the Carolina Panthers. And that's like the cheating. I had the Patriots.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to go New England.
100%. I thought about the Patriots and what they had. I think Buffalo's going to do their thing this year, but it's too much to try to figure out what the Dolphins and what the Jets are going to do. So I couldn't diss the New England like that. But I think it's the Carolina Panthers. You chose the Saints. I'm going to choose the opposite. I'm going to choose the Panthers. They snuck in the playoffs this year. We expect that whole division to be kind of revamped. And, yeah, I don't think they're a part of it.
Next in rapid fire, which Tiger needs to elevate his game the most? Which Tiger needs to elevate their game the most?
Jack Flaherty.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say Jack Flaherty. Like realistically, there's a reason why the Tigers saw fit to pay you $25 million. They saw something in you 2 seasons ago. We need you to get to that because you're here now. Like this isn't about, hey, well they're gonna make a trade and get rid of. No, you're here. You're our number 3, essentially. Yeah, we think. So I would ask him to step his game up. The bats, I know it's a bunch of bats you want that to happen from, et cetera, but I chose outside the box. Give me
I do
Jack
like
Flaherty.
that.
Because if he steps his game up, now you got 1, now you got 2, now you got 3, now you got JV. It looks a little different when you're going down the gauntlet of those 4 versus, we know we get 2 home runs off him.
Yeah, so you surprised me there, and I like that because that's not where I thought you were going at all. I went with Colt Keith, and the reason I went with Colt Keith is because I think if he can get significant time, and they've talked about him playing a little bit of first and a little bit of third. If he can get some significant time at third, and he doesn't do a bad job of hitting lefties, his average went down a little bit last year, which is a little troubling, but the on-base percentage and the slug went up. If he can take that to a little bit higher level and he's hit 13 homers in each of his first 2 years. If you can get him more plate appearances, I'd like to see him get more than 460. And if he can elevate his game in that sense from an offensive standpoint, help Riley Green, help Spencer Torkelson, help Dylan Dingler, top 10 guy, all these guys to get those guys overshadow some of the other weaker parts of your lineup. You need that other guy, and he could be that guy. Coming into the season. All right, for rapid fire, ready?
He would be, when we were talking yesterday, he would be one of those guys I was thinking of. I think we were thinking of the top players that are in top 10 at their position.
Yeah.
I know he's not, but he would be a player I would think would be around 14, 15 or so.
It depends on the position. You know, they got to find a position for him because he's been all over the map so far. And I think that's stunted his growth a little bit. If you could sign one free agent for the Lions, who would it be? One free agent for the Lions. Who would it be?
I'm stuck between 2. I really want. I'd say Tyler Lindenbaum.
Yeah.
Like realistically, we'll go down the list later who I think's coming here. But Tyler Lindenbaum would be the guy for me. Like I am fixed on the center position. I am fixed on the center position as it relates to not drafting, but acquiring through the offseason, free agency, who's available, moves you have to make. We're not looking for a guy that can eventually fill into this role, can eventually become a guy that can lead the charge, much like Frank Ragnow did. We need a guy that's already there because this team is already there. This quarterback is already there. This offense, essentially potentially can already be there. So give me Tyler Linderbaum. You give him that security will be like no other.
Yeah, that's true. It will cost you roughly $17 million, which would cost you less than what you're going to have to pay for Trey Hendrickson, which is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $29 million. So it's hard to disagree with Tyler Linderbaum from Baltimore. We don't think he's leaving there, but that would be the one guy, yes.
Because at the end of the day, like, whatever you do on defense, whatever the experiment is this offseason, replacing the safeties that may or may not play, replacing the DBs that may or not start, replacing, the edge rusher that may or not be the guy that you're going to use maybe too much. Like, whatever you do on the defensive side, remember what got the Lions to this spot. Yeah. It was offense. It was offensive line. It was running the ball and then opening up the passing game, allowing Amon-Ra to become the receiver that he is, allowing J-Mo to become that Sam Laporta. It's the offensive side of the ball. So that's what you got to get back to for me is Tyler Linderbaum.
Amen to that. Yeah, well said. Last one on rapid fire, then we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get back to some of those free agents. Ready?
Fire away.
How do you fix tanking in the NBA? We just got done talking about it. Utah got a fine. Somebody else got a fine because of what the commissioner believed was tanking. So how do you fix it?
You got to hit the books. And what I mean by hitting the books, it's not finding players – because they make tanking so much about the players. It's about the front offices. They're the one implementing. They're the one telling the coach, we can't play this player because this is what we're trying to do. You got to hit them where it hurts, and that's in their pocket. How you do that? I haven't heard this yet. This is something I just came up with while listening. Because people will say, how do you say someone's tanking? How can you point out that a coach actually tanked that game? Right. That's the problem right now, is proving that there was a tanking situation. Mm-hmm. Well, these doctor reports or these medical reports that come out and a player had treatment or a guy rolled his ankle, you have the other team's doctor examine said player. Mm-hmm. You have the other team doctor before the game. You got plenty of time. Games don't start till 7. You have plenty of time. See that doctor, get examined, tell him what it is, come in with the cause, and let that doctor make the decision on this is some BS or this is not. And if it's some BS, this is when you start finding these dudes. For each game you tank is $2 million because that hurts.
Yeah,
you got to hurt their pocketbooks. This $500,000 stuff that they're doing,
right on.
Man, that's chump change.
That's what they did last week. They fined Utah $500,000. They fined Indiana $100,000.
All they're gonna do is fire one person that works in the organization,
right?
In case we're good. So that's not hurting their pockets. You got to hurt their pockets. $2 million, like every time we find out.
I would take it a step further. I think it's a great suggestion. I would take money out of their pocket and draft picks away from them. If you're going to tank and you're going to ruin the integrity of the game, and it's found out, that's the key. How do you find out that it's legit? Because you don't want to tank. You don't want to penalize somebody for legitimate reasons why they didn't play Lauri Markkanen like Utah didn't, and that's why Jaren Jackson Jr. He's hurt. Okay, so if you're going to sit a guy and you're doing that. The problem is a lot of these teams can say, wait a minute, it's load management. They've gone back to that. Or they can say he's injured. If you incorporate what you've just said, and that is have the other team's doctor, okay, whatever, and you dock them a draft pick as well as find them big money, it might start to change some perceptions and beliefs within organizations.
I'm trying to understand why they're even bringing this up because we saw the third and first worst seasons ever in Pistons history, and it didn't net them much of anything. We saw them get the 5th overall pick, 2-3 years in a row. Luckily they got a little bit of draft luck with Cade Cunningham, but you look at the history of the Pistons, there's been some pretty bad years and a whole lot of bad draft lottery luck, and they said that the draft lottery was supposed to solve this. So now it just seems a little interesting that now they're saying, we have to get rid of this. I'm like, well, the only teams that's really had luck, I remember when the Cavaliers got rid of LeBron James, and all of a sudden they pop up and they're getting all of these draft picks.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, it's a little funny now that it feels like they might just be trying to eliminate the draft to make it easier for them to kind of work some of the mojo that I feel like they might have worked.
Would you want to eliminate the draft?
No. Mm-mm. No, I would not want to.
Stan Van Gundy has said eliminate the draft.
He can kiss my butt. Like, at the end of the day, like, for him to have did what he did in the city of Detroit, like, you stay away from anything Detroit and NBA.
Thank you.
Realistically, I don't like that because then they'll be able to place without impeding. Like it won't be like all right. At least there's kind of a draft. There's kind of a chance. There's variable chance.
Do we get
They're
K
lying
in that system?
So that's what I was gonna say. We got K. I believe I'm a conspiracy theorist a little bit.
A little bit,
but we're starting to see those. We're starting to see those conspiracies that I subscribe to. But anyway,
do you subscribe to the betting app? To conspiracy theory with the NBA?
The NBA, yes.
Okay.
There's nothing but conspiracies
All right.
going on. NBA. I got another conspiracy too. But anyway, I don't think they thought that Cade would be as good as he was, because I think that they gave us the number one pick in the year where it was like, Jalen Green, Cade Cunningham, they can have number one this year. And then Cade Cunningham.
They were wrong.
That's what I'm saying. And then he became who he was. I believe that firmly.
All right. So Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, would you get rid of the draft?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even though it hasn't
benefited
necessarily
us.
helped us the way that I would have liked for it to do, I still think it's overall more fair than just allowing these players, and honestly, more so than the players, the sponsors, the shoe companies, and those people to now direct where this talent is going to go. I think it's going to make it that much tough for teams, what they call small market, to have any chance to get ahead. Right now,
remember they used to
it because of the draft.
Way back in the day, they used to do that with baseball, and everybody was going to the Yankees, and that's why they were.
And they won a lot.
They won a lot. That was a winter segment. Good job, man. I enjoy that. That is what we call rapid fire with Braylon. Do that on Wednesdays.
Hey, shout out Brendan too. Who cooked up the graphic.
Cooked up the graphic. Good job, Brendan, as usual. When we come back, I'm going to give you some free agents. You tell me where they're going. Free agents. Braylon tells us their likely destination. That's after this from Dr. Pierce. And the best pizza you're going to find, that's Buddy's.
Dr. Pierce is the man we trust as it relates to the sports injury insights. He can tell you what's going on with the players. He tells you why they're going to play, why they're not going to play, and why we shouldn't worry or worry. Also, too, what he does, my favorite thing, is he gives you the right diagnosis. 248-426-9944. That's Michigan Sports and Spine. You can also reach that at .com. Like I said, it's not about getting a diagnosis, it's about getting the right diagnosis. You know what I'm saying? If something's wrong with your elbow, what truly is wrong with your elbow? How can we get you better? How can we get you back to that 67 that you want to shoot once the golf season starts?
Oh, come on.
At 67, baby. I didn't say it was on
Well, you weren't looking at me when you said it either, and I don't blame you. That's never going to happen.
I felt judged.
Scan the QR code above my head. Talk to the dog now.
Buddy's Pizza has great pizza. They've got classic salads, and they've got wonderful home-style pastas as well, and it's perfect for your next catering event. If you're going to cater an event, go to Buddy's. Save 20% off your next event ordering $200 or more. Use the promo code Woodward20. That promo code is Woodward20. Visit Buddy'sPizza.com and stay hungry, my friends.
For a King's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well,
Why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Black Rock Bar and Grill, a sizzle above the rest.
Oh, that
Yesterday
looks
was
good.
Tasty Tuesdays, man. You guys should have stopped by because Tasty Tuesday is the real deal. Black Rock Bar and Grill, more than just experience. It's a top rock experience. I told you about when I went this past Friday. Everything was cooked to perfection. Everything was fresh. The service was amazing as well. The daily specials, the happy hours, and they have food that fits into anyone's price points. Heartland, Nova, Ann Arbor, Davidson, Sault Ste. Marie, Portage, Utica, just to name a few. Black Rock Bar and Grill, once again, is the top rock experience. Reach out to them. Black Rock Restaurants.
How good do those onion rings look? Oh my goodness. All right. Looks really good here inside Lady Jane's too. Clean, smells good. Lovely ladies who want to enjoy a good conversation with you while they cut your hair and make you look as sharp as you deserve to look. And walk in, sign in, before you know it, you're handsome, you're clean, you're out the door. It's that quick with Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is. Make it awesome.
And we back.
All right, they are scoreless between the U.S. and Sweden. U.S. has outshot them 9-8. But they're winding their way toward the end of the first period. We'll keep you updated on that.
What does success look like for Team USA in hockey, and what does failure look like for them, Chef?
Failure is losing in this round.
Okay.
Okay. Or in the semifinals. I expect them to make the gold medal game.
Canada, waiting for them?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't expect them to beat Canada. Okay.
That's fair.
I think they're, even though Canada just lost Sidney Crosby. Macklin Celebrini 19 years old. Okay? 19. He's played 4 games. He's got like 4 goals and 9 assists already. I mean, he's an absolute beast at 19 years old. It's crazy what he's doing.
Mega stud.
Absolutely. Lucky to have him in the NHL. Wish more people could watch him. All right, let's get to this. In the NFL, the franchise tag period is underway. We talked about it yesterday. You're not franchising tagging anybody, all right? But it won't be long before we start talking about free agency. The free agency window, okay? Who are you going to contact? Who do you want? Here are some names, not necessarily strictly for the Lions. I just want to get an idea of where Braylon Edwards thinks these guys will be going.
Okay, here we go. Let's
All right,
make something
ready?
happen.
All right.
Add one to that list.
Okay.
Quarterback from the Cardinals.
Oh, okay. Copy that. Let's put Mr. Murray's name down there. All right.
Got you covered, brother.
Tyreek Hill. Where is he going? Because he's already been let go by Miami.
Right, 100%. I thought about this one. I had an easy answer at first. Obviously, with Eric Bieniemy coming back to the Kansas City Chiefs, it would seem right that he goes back for a homecoming of sorts, get back on track. But I went a different route. I'm going to go Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, really?
I'm going to go Tyreek Hill to the Baltimore Ravens. Zay Flower to me still is not a number 1 wide receiver. He won't be a number 1 wide receiver. I think he has a lot of talent. You partner Tyreek up
I'll be interested.
with Zay Flowers, the tight ends that they have. I think Lamar finally has his true number 1 pick. And also, Tyreek's in a better situation maybe for him and what he needs. Give me Tyreek Hill to the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
You get that there, you look a lot different in terms of who the odds are in the AFC North.
Staying with wide receivers, Mike Evans.
Ooh.
13 years deep in the NFL, all with Tampa. Tom Brady's thrown more touchdowns to Mike Evans than any other Tampa quarterback. He was hurt last year, but a guy who usually, when healthy, is a 1,000-yard receiver. Where's he going?
Let's see. He's a red zone touchdown machine type. I have an idea. Let me take a look before I make this comment. Nope. And yeah. If he doesn't stay in Tampa, I think staying would be the move for Tampa. He's a cornerstone there. He hasn't played anywhere else. He tied Jerry Rice a couple years ago. They love him. Whenever he's healthy, he does do it. If he doesn't stay there, though, don't sleep on the San Francisco 49ers. Oh. Don't sleep on the San Francisco 49ers. I know they have Ricky Pearsall, who I don't think is the number one. Still trying to figure some things out with Juwan Jennings. I also do not think is the number one. I think you can have a guy like Mike Evans come out there and be like a good point.
I wonder if Chiefs are sneaky.
That's where I was going.
You said what?
Yeah.
So yours, I wasn't thinking yours. Like the 49ers would be like, oh crap, I don't even want them getting better. But
that would be a good one.
The Chiefs too, I think.
Mm-hmm. Chiefs is a good one.
Is Ray Shea going through it right now?
Yeah. He could help somebody.
He could help a lot of people.
Yeah. He doesn't have to play a ton of snaps, but he's going to help somebody.
If the Lions didn't draft Isaac Tesla last year, he could help the Lions.
Okay.
Fire.
All right. So you got Mike Evans if he leaves to San Francisco. All right. Let's go with another receiver, but not necessarily a wide receiver. Kyle Pitts is a free agent from Atlanta. Where do you think he's headed?
Tom Brady became Tom Brady in totality once he got Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. We obviously know what happened with that situation. Rob Gronkowski now in the conversation of greatest tight end of all time. I disagree, but he's right there. I think it's to New England. I think Drake May needs a tight end that has a longer career ahead of him, has exciting playmaking ability, can move as he moves, shadow him as he shadows. I think Kyle Pitts to New England Patriots would be a really, really good move for that ball club.
Okay. Yeah, because Hunter Henry's, 31, 32?
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was as old as he was.
That makes so much sense. It just feels like it's going to happen. Like it just feels like he just told us the future. I wouldn't be surprised when we see that.
He had that year with Hunter Henry. I can only imagine what Kyle Pitts would bring to that organization.
It's another spot I thought might be a good fit for Kansas City because if Kelsey moves on. Okay. That was my original thought, but I like where you're going with it. Kyle Pitts going to New England. All right, let's get to the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, last year's early darling for Indianapolis, but he was only on a one-year deal. Where does he go?
If I'm the Colts, man, I do a Sam Darnold situation. I make this a Sam Darnold situation. At the end of the day, I think you sign him for a 3-year deal. Make this your guy. You saw what it looked like when he was healthy early on in the season. You guys had some guys on offense that were out while he was doing his thing, and then he gets hurt. I think it's a good fit. Defense is really good. It looked good early on. And as you've seen with Sam Darnold and some other quarterbacks, you put enough weapons around them, which they have Alec Pierce. Technically, as of right now, we don't know if he moves, but you got Pierce. You also have Pittman, who got paid last year, Tyler Warren last year, and you still have one of the best running backs in the league. So I say Daniel Jones stays there.
Okay.
If he didn't, then maybe he would make a return to the team he was with before.
Oh, you think so, huh? You think he'd go back to the Giants?
No.
Oh.
He was with the Vikings.
Vikings, okay.
So, but I think he stays with the Colts.
Okay, cool. Aaron Rodgers.
Vikings. Like, there's Vikings for sure. Last year, I thought would have been the perfect storm for him to go to the Vikings. Obviously, they thought they had a better situation. I think it's the same situation. I think the defense is really good. I think the offense will be even better than it was this year because the offensive line will be back. Jordan Addison won't be missing the first 4 or 6 games or however many he missed. I think that will be a really good move for him because that team is ready for him. And he showed me enough last year where I would give it a 1-year situation.
Malik Willis.
I think he's the one going to the Cardinals. Because they'll get rid of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray won't be their quarterback, and they'll go for a lesser, in terms of money-wise, quarterback. Also look to the relationship of LaFleur. LaFleur. So look for that. I like the Cardinals for him.
Okay.
Because they're a running team. He showed enough poise, and they're not a team that's ready to win right now. They're a team that's ready to compete, if you will, maybe make the playoffs. I think Malik Willis can do enough of that for you.
I thought it might be the Jets for Malik Willis, or maybe even the Raiders. How about Kyler Murray?
Jets.
Jets. Okay.
I think Jets. I think the Jets believe that they can win now. I don't know if they look at Malik Willis as this is the guy to win us a Super Bowl or this is the guy to get us the AFC Championship. I think they're looking at Kyler Murray. He's fast. Not fast, excuse me, wrong word. He's shiny. He's the object. He can come up here. He can really create the name, and also maybe we can help him become what he's supposed to be. Maybe he's our Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay situation. Maybe he's Jared Goff, Detroit Lions from L.A. Number 1 overall pick. Just need a change of scenery. So maybe it's that one. Give me the Jets.
Give me a couple running backs. You ready?
Yep.
Kenneth Walker III.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
That feels like another perfect fit.
If they let a MVP go, which, I mean, I guess that's the NFL these days. If they let him go, I like the Steelers. They got to get back to some form of being able to run the football, and I think he does that well for them. I don't necessarily know if I like Chase. I don't know if I like him enough to be the guy.
Yeah, I'm surprised Seattle has not tagged him. The tag value is about $14 million, so that surprises me a little bit that they haven't done that. Another running back, speaking of the Jets, Breece Hall.
Chiefs.
Okay.
Chiefs needed, Chiefs haven't had a 1,000-yard running back. You ready for this stat? Since Patrick Mahomes has been starting quarterback. Last time they had a 1,000-yard running back, it was the year before with Alex Smith, and it was Kareem Hunt.
Wow.
You give them Breece Hall, who is elite pass receiver out of the backfield. Elite as it relates to the running backs in the game today. He would be at the top.
Sure.
Top 5 or so. He can catch out of the backfield. He can run between the tackles. And I guarantee you, if I'm him and I'm playing with Patrick Mahomes, I'm not going to be as much of a crash out as I was when I'm playing with, Robert Saleh as well as Aaron Glenn last year.
Okay.
So Breece Hall to the Chiefs, I think it does some dangerous stuff. I think it's almost.
That's a surprising power stat that they haven't had. And 1,000 yards is not like it used to be. It's
not
like
hard to
Walter
get there.
Payton's 1,000 yards.
I'm telling you, if you get him, I think he would be a bigger acquisition than Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
For them.
Okay, I've got 2 more, and these are linemen, so I'm going to bear with you a little bit. Ready? Both are centers. Tyler Linderbaum from Baltimore.
Linemen are the most loyal players in the game as it relates to the head coaches. They love their coaches. I'm telling you, I've been on multiple teams. You say anything wrong about the head man, the offensive linemen are the dudes that you have to deal with all the time. I don't know if Tyler Linderbaum likes the shake that John Harbaugh got. And I also know a team in New York that needs a center. John Harbaugh, his former coach. Give me Tyler Linderbaum to the New York Giants.
I like the methodology there. Okay. The last one, Cade Mays, Carolina center.
We're good.
Going to Lions?
We're good.
Okay.
I think he goes to the Detroit Lions. I think they know. In fact, I don't think. They know the moves that they have to make. They know the ones that they have to make. Not the ones where it's like, maybe we can do this, maybe we can't. They know the moves they have to make. And that center in the offseason, not through the draft, is a move they have to make.
Exactly.
I think Cade Mays is the number 3 center that will be on the board this year because I think McGovern is still under
McGovern
contract.
from Buffalo. He's an unrestricted free agent.
100%.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he's an unrestricted. So he's available too.
Yeah. I would go with Cade Mays.
Yeah, I don't
Detroit
think
Lions.
I don't think McGovern's leaving Buffalo. How much are you willing to spend on a center? Because McGovern probably, Sport Track envisions him about a little bit more than 16 mil. Linderbaum about 17. Cade Mays about 12. Now I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but we're talking about roughly $4 million there that you could use to help your team a little bit.
Who is my quarterback depends on how much money I want to spend at the center position. Now, if my quarterback is on the level of a Josh Allen, of a Lamar Jackson, of a Drake May, of a Bo Nix, i.e. running quarterback, I don't have to spend as much.
Right.
Because they can get off their mark and be okay. When my quarterback is a Tom Brady, is a Matt Stafford, is a Jared Goff, I'll spend a little bit more because I understand how much more important that position is. But 12 is a lot better than 17.
Amen to that.
On every day of the week. So
in a perfect world, we'll get into this eventually. In a perfect world,
14 would be my number.
14?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to go over that for a center, is what you're saying.
If Tyler Linderbaum's available, yes. If he is not, 14 is what I got for
What I was going to say is, in a perfect world, Detroit signs a guy like that at center. drafts a guy like Ione at Penn State, the guard.
He's a first rounder.
Okay.
Yeah,
in the first round. He could be there at 17. Okay. And Taylor Decker comes back for another year. For their offensive line.
Yeah.
Okay. Defensive line, you're going to have to do something, I don't think you necessarily. I saw in ESPN reports, they said the best fit for Joey Bosa, who played in Buffalo last year, had 15 starts, only had 7 sacks, but only played 43% of the snaps too. That the Lions are a good fit for him. He would be an inexpensive, better option than the guy we've had the last 2 years. And you could save yourself a little bit of money, address your center, address your guard, get another year out of your tackle, maybe even draft a tackle to possibly back up if you don't think Manu's worth having. And I think suddenly you've got yourself a much better situation.
Talked about Joey Bosa a couple times this year. Look, he was a guy that was kind of on my radar, but I didn't know what type of player he was. And what I mean by that is Joey's a guy on and off the field. He's a little bit of a headache. He's a little bit of a me guy, and that was kind of what you saw at the end of him with the Chargers, et cetera, et cetera. But when he got to Buffalo, he shaped up. And what he was what the team needed. And you saw him. He was a guy that they depended on. They depended on him for leadership. Yeah. He played through the whistle. You would see him chase down tackles from backsides. You would see him also in the run game show up, which is not his cup of tea. So you saw that he was willing to put it on the line if he believed in the situation. He played some bad teams in L.A. If he believes in the situation, that's what he'll give you. He can give Detroit that in spades. I wouldn't mind that move as well.
Somebody in the chat, rightfully so, Tampa Raider says, look, the Lions have so many needs. I don't think they have enough cap to address every need. I don't disagree with you on that. That's why this is why I think one of the most important things, and I mean this sincerely, I know how people feel about certain guys. Tyleik Williams has got to be good. Terrion Arnold has to be good. Enos Rakestraw has got to come back from injury and at least contribute a little bit, and DJ Reed has to be good. If you don't get those guys to be contributors and important pieces moving forward, you're in deep trouble.
Yeah, I get it, and I understand the Lions do have a lot, but saying that they don't have enough room is a little bit crazy. And the reason why the NFL that we live in today, like real talk, if you got a good front office, they got to make some moves, and they understand this is how you get things done. The Patriots were 4-13 last year.
Yeah, that's
They made it to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
So you're telling me we can't fix a couple of things that we need?
Yeah.
Fix the things that are most important. Fix the things that are most important that affect those other things that you need as well.
Or how about this? How about restructuring the right contracts?
And that's what I was going next.
Kansas City's done that within the past for Patrick Mahomes. If Detroit does that for Jared Goff.
It's funny you say that. Patrick Mahomes restructured today.
Oh, did he do it again today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes
they've done that quite a bit with him.
1,000%.
So he's a good soldier for sure.
If he can restructure his deal,
right,
that he was actually should have gotten more, I'm just talking certain other quarterbacks.
Right. Well, at the time, it was the highest. He chose to sign it then. Okay, so, I mean, it's all about timing. We all know that. But yeah, if he's willing to restructure, Jared Goff willing to restructure, that would really help this team out a lot. I would like to see Aleem McNeil restructure, for crying out loud, since he's the third biggest hit.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, Tom Brady, you know what he did so well? He restructured his deal and it worked for him. Yeah, you're right. He absolutely did. When did that happen? That was in that Super Bowl gap when he looked at, we can't win.
Yeah.
We're not winning. Right. We're not winning. And then eventually, 8 years later, he's like, why don't you take some of this money? I got Tag Heuer coming in. I got Maserati.
Right.
Actually, I make the second least. In my house, Giselle's making this.
Right, exactly.
So 100%. That's what Patrick Mahomes did. You look at last year, and you're like, you know what? I got a lot coming in on the outside.
Yeah,
winning is the most.
He's got the State
thing.
Farm. He's got his production studio. His wife's making money off her podcast.
You can't get them commercials if you ain't winning.
That's right. Amen to that. Yeah.
I was
what
going to say, the Detroit Lions just announced that Rod Wood is set to retire as the Detroit Lions team president and CEO.
So Braylon will take that job. That's good.
That's kudos.
Yeah.
Why after this year?
Is that right now or after this year? I'm sorry, I missed that, Kool-Aid. Did you say right now?
He will retire before the start of the 2026 NFL season.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, two things.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, why after this season, and why are we finding this out now when the season isn't?
I don't know. Who would you make president? Somebody from within the organization. Who would you make president? Would you elevate Brad Holmes, similar to what the Giants did, only this time this guy deserves it, and then maybe make Chris Spielman your general manager, what would you do?
It's actually pretty savvy.
You like that idea?
I wouldn't be against that one at all.
I wouldn't be against it either. Remember, Chris Spielman was considering
Buffalo and New York.
Right.
Buffalo and New York.
That's what I would do. They have other people within their organization, capologists and so on and so forth, that they've been afraid of losing that perhaps would be an option too. You'd have to get a gauge on that stuff, but I think that's worthy of consideration.
However you can become a better version of what you were last year in the front office, that's the move I'm for.
Amen.
I'm saying some Spielman love in the chat from Steve Wilds, Navy Goat. Chris Spielman is going to be somebody who's probably going to get a lot of love.
He deserves it. He
definitely does.
He's a good man, and I think
one of the people that was there early
character.
on. When you talk about the culture change here, I know they talk about the fact that they hired Dan Campbell before Brad, but Spielman was one of those guys that they brought in to even help with the search for Dan Campbell. So when you talk about changing the culture, sometimes I know a lot of times we're always going to look at Dan Campbell, but I do believe Spielman's one of those guys who helped from the inception.
Well said, and doesn't probably get nearly enough, but he was a big reason why they hired Brad Holmes, okay, what he saw in Brad Holmes.
Yeah.
Last thing before we're out of here, and maybe get to a super chat or two, Adam Schefter reported this. The Las Vegas Raiders want 2 firsts and a premium player, his words, for Max Crosby. 2 firsts and a premium player. So just for the sake of argument,
Okay.
this year's first, next year's first,
And Jameson Williams.
I asked Braylon Edwards, the general manager, do you pull that trigger?
Sold.
Sold?
Sold.
You would do it?
Sold.
Okay. Kool-Aid, would you give up 2 firsts, 1 in 2026, 1 in 2027, and Jameson Williams for Max Crosby right now? It's a hefty hit, by the way. I think it's the 3rd highest hit in the cap of any player in the National Football League this year.
Goodness, that is tough. That's tough. I wouldn't, and it's just because of the issues that I have with the offensive line and the secondary, but it's a fair deal. It's a fair deal. I could definitely say that, but that's tough.
Okay. So you would not do it?
I would not, but by a hair.
Okay. Cam, would you do it?
Not doing it.
Why?
The future assets. Yeah, I just think it's future assets, really. I would lean into free agency for edge rusher.
We all want Crosby until it's time to pull the trigger.
That's right. So just for reference point, and I'm not saying they're the same player, but they're productive players. Micah Parsons, 2 firsts, and a starting defensive lineman. That's what Dallas got in return from Green Bay. Okay? So you'd be giving up 2 firsts and a productive wide receiver.
Last year, when Micah Parsons got to the Green Bay Packers, their starting DB was hurt. They got rid of the other starting DB. You didn't even know who the hell their secondary players was. Their safeties were just okay. Eventually, Nixon starts the ball, but that defense was that good. You know why? Because Michael was on one side, Sean Gary was on one side, and they were freaking havoc.
Right.
And it made it easier to play DB. It made it easier to play safety and linebacker.
Yep.
That team was a Micah Parsons injury away from, how far would they have gotten with a healthy Micah Parsons on that team? I'm not saying they would have went to the Super Bowl, but they definitely were in that conversation. So, so for all we need, which is true, how much better are those players when you throw Max on the other side of Aiden? And now you got two monsters that play the same way. So Aiden's running from left all the way to right sideline, and Max is running from right all the way to left sideline. Oh, by the way, Jack Campbell's on that team. Oh, by the way, DJ Reed becomes a better DB because now quarterback's got less time to get exactly.
That'll be a very interesting observation with the Green Bay Packers this year because guess who's a free agent? Rashawn Gary. And it's one that I didn't ask Braylon Edwards on where he goes.
Bring him back to the middle.
I was just about to say.
Okay. So he's a free agent. maybe it's something we can chat about tomorrow with you in the chat. We're glad you were able to participate.
Now, that's a move.
Thanks for giving us some of your 2 hours on a Wednesday. It's always enjoyable.
That would be like
we will be
Julius
back
Peppers.
here tomorrow. Julius Peppers.
He kept going Bears, Packers, Bears, Packers.
Panthers. It was great visiting with you as always. Thank you very much. Hope you're back with us tomorrow, 2 to 4 here on Woodward Sports. Don't forget the heavyweights later on today at 5.
Happy birthday, Tom Mazaway. Don't know how I forgot that. Happy birthday, Maz. Love you, big guy.
So he's 40, but he acts like he's 65. We'll see you tomorrow.
He's 65 and acts like he's 20.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.